Hey guys, and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a full review on a 2012 Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 in its modern style was first introduced in 2005 and ran until 2010. Then it got a redesign for 2011 and has kept that redesign until 2014. Finally, in 2015, the 300 got a fairly noticeable refresh design. Standard equipment on the 300 includes dual exhaust tips. Let me show you those dual exhaust tips right here. Includes dual exhaust tips on both sides. Remote keyless entry, tilt and telescopic steering wheel, auto dimming rear view mirror, an 8-way power driver's seat and a 6-way power passenger seat, and an 8.4-inch touchscreen and dual zone climate control. The base engine in the Chrysler 300 is a 3.6-liter V6 that produces 292 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's paired either to a 5-speed automatic or an 8-speed automatic. You can only get the 8-speed automatic on limited and all-wheel drive V6 trims. All of the other trims get a 5-speed automatic. Now the 300 that I have in front of you here is the limited trim, so it has the 8-speed automatic transmission, which at its time produced the best fuel economy in its class. It got 19 miles per gallon in the city and 31 miles per gallon in the highway with the rear-wheel drive setup, and 18 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway with the all-wheel drive setup. And if you were to option for the 5-speed automatic, you would get 18 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway, since this vehicle was only paired with the rear-wheel drive setup if you were to get the 5-speed automatic transmission. Now, other engines that are available on the 300 is a 5.7-liter V8 that can be paired to rear-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive setup, and a 6.4-liter V8, which is known as the SRT rear-wheel drive. But we're going to save those other vehicles for a different review because this vehicle is quite different from those other vehicles. Alright, so now let's check out the front seat of the Chrysler 300. So let me first show you the keys here. So these are the keys to the Chrysler 300. You have a nice Chrysler logo right there. It's a smooth plastic all the way, all over it. And then right here you have an unlock button, your lock button. This is your trunk button. You press this 2 times and it will open up your trunk. And then if you press this right here 2 times, it will be your remote start. And then this is your panic button. And then right here is a physical key. So you'd say your battery dies or something, you would insert your key right there. Alright, so this vehicle also has a let me show you this. It has a proximity key. So when you press this button right here, it will lock the doors, and then when you put your hand behind, it will unlock the doors for you. Alright, so now let's get inside of the Chrysler 300. Alright, so sitting inside the Chrysler 300, and first sitting inside of it, it's actually pretty comfortable. You have a fairly good amount of space in here since this is a full-size sedan. It's a full-size American sedan, and the seats are pretty comfortable as well. Alright, so to start up the engine, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, and then you push this button to start it up. Alright. Okay. Alright, so looking at the door materials in the Chrysler 300, you have nice soft touch materials all on the top of the door panel, and then right here you have nice wood accent inserts right here, and then below that you have a aluminum looking accent right here, and then below that you also have that same soft touch material from the top carried over to here, and then you have a leather insert right here where you would pretty much rest your arm, and then right here is a another leather insert, but this is a little bit more firm. It's not as smooth as this one, but it's pretty comfortable to rest your arm on as well. So coming up here you have your window controls, your mirror controls, excuse me. And then here you have your window controls. So the driver's side window is auto down, so you just press this 1 time, the window will go down, then you press it again and the window will go up. And then over here you have your door lock controls right there. Alright, so coming lower in the door, you have hard touch materials all the way along here, and then you have a bottle holder right there, and then you have a little storage compartment to put a couple of things in right there. Alright, so right here is where your emergency brake is right there. And then up here you have your headlight controls. It has an auto feature. You just put it on auto and it'll turn on when it turns nighttime. You have your intensity switches over here, and then this is your trunk release. And then over here you have a nice air vent with that same stainless steel look around the air vent. And then you have this wood insert also right here, carried over from the door, so it looks really nice. I really like this wood insert, and it has like a glossy finish to it, so it's not like a matte wood, it's just like a nice glossy covering over it. And then you have this stainless steel looking trim there, like aluminum looking trim. Alright, so coming to the gauges of the Chrysler 300, you have your tachometer right here, you have your coolant temperature, and then on this side you have your speedometer and your fuel gauge. So right in the center you have your LCD screen right here, and to control that screen you just press these controls on the steering wheel. And then right here is your voice controls, and then right here you have your call pickup and hang up button right there, and then these controls control this center screen right there. And then coming over here, you have your trip computer. You have your your cruise control controls right there. And then behind the steering wheel, let's see if I can show you. Behind the steering wheel, you have your radio controls. So right here will be your volume controls. You would press up to turn up the volume and down to turn down the volume. And then on this side, you have your tuning controls. So you would, to press up, you would change the tune, and then down to change the station of your radio. Alright, so coming to the center console of the Chrysler 300, you have a nice analog clock right here. And then around this 8.4-inch touchscreen, you have a nice aluminum trim going all the way around here. And then right here, you have your AC vents, and I really like this whole design right here. It looks pretty nice. It's clean. It's not overly done. And then coming down here, you have that same glossy wood design going all the way down the center here. And then right here is the gear selector. So this gear selector is pretty different from your traditional gear selector. So you have park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Now the difference between this gear selector and another gear selector is that this gear selector always returns to the center. So let me show you an example. So to shift into reverse, you would pull it down. Oh, excuse me. The shift to reverse, you will pull it down, and you will see that it pretty much like goes right back to the center. And in this vehicle, you also get a reverse camera, but it doesn't have any trajectory. It just has distance markers. Alright, so let's go back into park. And this vehicle doesn't have any paddle shifters or manual shift mode either. Alright, so coming over here, you have your hazard lights. You have your AC on and off button there. You have your air circulation button there. You have your temperature. So let's go to climate here. And when you press this button up, it will change what temperature you want the AC to come out on this side, because this vehicle has a dual AC unit. So pretty much like this side has a different temperature from this side of the vehicle. So that's pretty cool. And then coming over here, you have your front window defroster, your rear window defroster, and your traction control on and off. And then here you have your AC vent speed, and you have an auto button for your AC vent. Alright, so coming down here, you have an SD card slot right there, and then you have your CD slot right there. And then right here, if you click that, it opens up. You have a 12-volt power outlet, and then all this inside of here is lined with felt, so it's really nice in there. And then you have some storage to throw some things in there as well. Alright, so coming right here, you have a nice area to put your phone, but it's not that large. You can't really fit, like, for example, an S7 will not fit inside of here. You have to have a pretty small phone in order for it to fit in there. And then right here you have 2 cup holders with a slide over it that covers it up to give it a nice sleek look. And then coming over here you have your center armrest that's wrapped in leather. It's pretty smooth texture. It's not extremely like soft, but it's fairly soft. And then you would press right here, and then you open it up, and then you have another 12-volt power outlet. You have an auxiliary port, and then you have a USB port, and that's covered up with a plastic piece right there. And then you have a pretty deep storage well here. So let me take out this. This piece actually comes out. So you have a pretty deep storage well. It goes up to about about 1/3 of my forearm. And that's pretty good since this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle, and that powertrain has to go all the way through the center of the vehicle. So that's pretty cool that they give you a pretty large center console armrest there. And then up here you have a change holder, and then you can also put a couple of more things in there. Alright, so now let's talk about the 8.4-inch Uconnect touchscreen. Alright, so let's go back to radio. Alright, so you have your radio presets up here. You could set 12 presets, and then over here you have your AM, your FM, and your satellite radio. And then you have your browse button, your replay button, and your tune button. So you press your tune, and then you would type in whatever station you want to go to. And this touchscreen is extremely responsive. Like for a 2012 car, it's not lagging at all. You could easily touch these, and it goes straight to where you want it to go to. All right, and then down here you can have a player. So let's say you have a phone connected to here. So there's a phone connected to here, and then it has different tracks that you can go through, that you download on your phone. And then you go to controls. Here you have your driver's heated seats. So you would press this button here, and it will turn on your heated seats. So it's either low or high, but I don't need heated seats because, as you can see, it's 83 degrees outside. All right, so then you have a screen on and off button. So then you just tap the screen again to turn it right back on. And then the passenger side also has 2-stage heated seats, a high and low setting. All right, so now let's go to climate control. So looking at the climate control, it's pretty much the same buttons you get down here, just in a screen form. And then you could also control your heated seats features from the climate control page. And then let's say you have this AC temperature on like 68, and then this one's like really high, right? You will press sync, and it'll sync the passenger side AC to the driver's side AC. And then right here is your fan speed. Alright, so now let's go to phone. Alright, and then phone, you will connect your phone into the system, and then you could pick up and hang up calls right there. And then you have a dial button here, your phone book, messaging, things like that. And then in your settings, you have your display, your clock, your driver, your safety and driver's assistance, and that's pretty much just your backup camera and your hill start assist. And then you have your lights. So this is pretty much headlights with wipers, different things that you could activate in the car. Alright, so now let's talk about this passenger side of the vehicle. So on the passenger sides of the vehicle, you get a nice soft touch dashboard all the way up, all the way on top of here. It's a nice soft touch material. It's similar to what was on the door panel, but it's a little bit harder than what's on the door panel. Right here you also get that same soft touch material. You have that nice glossy wood trim going all the way across, and then you also have that aluminum trim going all the way on the bottom. Alright, and then here you have a hard touch glove box cover, but it is lockable, so that's pretty cool. So you would press this, and it's damp, so it doesn't come slamming down. And it's also lined in felt, so it has a nice, soft, luscious feel to it. You can fit business cards, things like that up there. This is your owner's manual, and then you could put a couple more things in there. And this is actually a pretty good sized glove compartment. Alright, and then coming over here, pretty much the same as the driver's side, except on this side you only get your auto up-down window. So you press it once, window goes down by itself. You press it up, window goes up by itself. Alright? And then you have your door lock and unlock, and then you have a little section here to put whatever you want to put in there. And then you have a bottle holder, and then you have your another storage compartment there. Alright, so now let's check out the back seat of the Chrysler 300. So let's open up the door and hop on into the back seat of the Chrysler 300. Alright, so sitting in the back seat of the Chrysler 300, you have a pretty good amount of space back here. Alright, so underneath the seat I have tons of foot space, and that's because the front seat is height adjustable. The driver and passenger seat is height adjustable in this vehicle. You have a nice pocket right here to put things inside of. You also have that on the passenger side. And I mean, room is really good in here. I have a really good amount of space between my knees as well. As you can see, I could pretty much put like 1/3 of my arm right there in between. And then headroom is a little on the close side. I probably only have like 2 fingers of headroom above my head. And the headrest is not height adjustable, so my head is over the headrest as well. I am 5'11", so I don't, it's not extremely tall, but I guess for people that are slightly shorter, it'll be extremely comfortable for them. Now, looking at the door materials here, you have the same materials from the front seat. You have nice soft touch material here, soft touch material on the lower part right here as well. And then here you have a smooth plastic there with an aluminum door handle, same door handle that you get from the front seat. And then your door locks are up here in like a nice chrome accent right there. And then you have your wood with your glossy coating and your aluminum strip beneath that. And then coming here, you have that same soft touch armrest from the front seat. You have pretty much like a leather imitated plastic here, but it's hard touch. And you have your window switch controls here, and then you have like a nice chrome accent going around that window switch control. And then you have an aluminum stripe going all the way down there. And then you have your bottle holder and then another storage compartment there, and that's hard touch plastic down there. Alright, so coming to the center area, right here you have 2 air vents and a nice aluminum trim going around that, pretty much mimicking what you see in the front seat with that aluminum trim going around there. And you have a 12-volt power outlet right here. And you also have a enormous hump back here. So sitting in the middle seat probably won't be that comfortable. So let me sit in the middle seat in a second. Let me first show you this armrest right here. So you do get an armrest back here, and this slides down and you get 2 cup holders, and this ring right here illuminates at nighttime in like a blue light. It looks really nice. And then if you open this up, you have a nice shallow compartment here. You can put a couple of things back here if you're sitting in the back seat. And this is also leather padded. It's actually pretty soft, as you can see. It's indents quite a bit. Alright, and then, but the center headrest is adjustable, so at least they give you that. Alright, so let me sit in the center seat here. Alright, so sitting in the center seat, the bottom cushion is actually fairly soft. It's not hard at all. But the back is extremely hard. And that's especially due to it having the center armrest there. But it's pretty hard, and my head is once again over the headrest. I don't think it goes up any higher. And headroom in the center, I have like literally like 1 finger above my head. So it's not very ideal to be sitting in the middle seat. And then on the passenger side, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Alright, so now let's check out the trunk of the Chrysler 300. So looking at the rear design of the Chrysler 300, you have these vertical tail lamps right here. These are LED tail lamps as well as LED reverse lights. And coming over here, you have your reverse camera. That's where your reverse camera is located. You have another LED brake light right here. And then you have, this is the button that you would press to open up the trunk. And then you have this big and central Chrysler winged logo right there. And then below the trunk opening, you have this nice chrome accent going all the way along the bottom. It looks really nice there. And then right here you have your license plate indentation cutout right there. And then you have your dual exhaust tips that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Alright, and then you also get this nice 300 logo right here that looks really nice. Alright, so all you have to do is press this button right here, and then it will open up the trunk for you. I know this trunk is not power, I don't believe, but it does open up by itself, so it's really cool how it opens up by itself. Alright, so over here you have a cargo hook. Pretty much like for your grocery bags and things like that. It says a max weight of 50 pounds. And then you have a very large trunk opening right here. Pretty large trunk opening. So now the cargo capacity of the Chrysler 300 is 16.3 cubic feet of space with the rear seats folded up. And you have indentions right here to give you the most room as possible. Right here you do have this bulging in because that is where your wheel well is located, around that area. But you do get lights in here, so at nighttime you can see inside the trunk. You get that on both sides. And then over here you get a nice handle right here to help you close the trunk. But it does require quite a bit of effort, because if you just close it like this, it's not going to go down. So you have to really slam it down to close it if you don't want to touch the outside paint of your vehicle. Alright, so coming to the side of the vehicle, you have nice chrome rims here. These rims are 18-inch rims, and they have a really nice chrome look to them. They're really, really nice. And this car is just these rims really match this car. This car is sitting on 22 5s and 60 R18s. Alright, so let's come to the side of the vehicle. You have this nice character line that starts all the way from the front and runs all the way down the side and ends right here. You have a vertical crease here as well, where it goes like that and then meets with your tail lights. That looks really nice there. You have your fuel door here, and then you also have your nice chrome door handles that match really well with your rims. Alright, and then right here, looking at your mirror cover, you have a nice chrome accent that also matches the rims of the 300. Alright, so looking at the front of the Chrysler 300, you have really nice headlights here. These have LED accents going all the way around this area right here. You have a halogen turn signal, and then you have a projector beam headlight there. And then below that you have a nice chrome accenting piece right there. And then below here you have a nice chrome area here, which is where your headlight projector beam fog lamp is located, with another chrome accent right there. Alright, and then looking at the grille of the Chrysler 300, you have a very nice looking grille here. So you have pretty much like a chamfered rectangle here, so it's not like sharp at the corners, it's rounded at the corners. You have the Chrysler logo that's well integrated inside of this very bold chrome grille right here. And then it has nice slots in here that pretty much gives it like a 3D effect to it. It looks really nice. Alright, and then below that you have an air duct right there. So when the Chrysler 300 was new in 2012, the limited price was about $32,000 for the limited trim. And now if you were to buy a Chrysler 300 used for a limited trim, it'll be anywhere from $15,000 to about $17,000. So this vehicle is a pretty good value for your money if you were to buy a used 2012 now, because you get a lot of car for your money. It's a luxury vehicle for just around $15,000, $17,000, which is a really good price. So the wheelbase of the Chrysler 300 in 2012 is 120.2 inches, which is one of the largest wheelbases in the large family sedan class. And the overall length of the Chrysler 300 is 199 inches, which is just around the middle of the pack for its class. And the turning radius of the Chrysler 300 is 19.45 feet, which is one of the largest turning circles in its class. And the curb weight of the Chrysler 300 is just around 4,000 pounds, and it could go all the way up to 4,500 pounds, which is just around the middle of the pack. Now you may be asking me, what are the competitors of the Chrysler 300? So the competitors include the Buick LaCrosse, which is one of the most comfortable vehicles in the class, the Ford Taurus, which is stuffed with tons of technology, the Hyundai Genesis, which is really the bargain of the bunch. You get a lot of car for your money with the Hyundai Genesis, the Nissan Maximum, which looks premium and gives you lots of sporty looks, and the Chrysler 300's cousin, which is the Dodge Charger, which is pretty much the sportier side of the Chrysler 300. Well, that's it for this full review. Comment and tell me what you would like to see in future videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is Marcus, and thanks for watching Drive and Be Driven. Keep it positive, and I'll see you next time.